I've never had an issue with ick or fungus or anything, but I did get the molly, and he was the one. I guess it's a male molly because of the tail, but I guess the mollies actually had something on them, and it appeared to be dots, but the molly that passed away first and died had something like on its cheek, so I couldn't tell if it was like dots or if it was just like cloudy. But this one now has something kind of puffy coming out of his fin area that is white, and it's not dots. So I figured it out. I googled it. I did call a fish keeper and or store, talk to them about it, and yes, it's fungus. So I've been treating the tank for fungus for about 3 treatments now after the ick. And I just wanted to share these products because yes, I did do the ick treatment, and I've been doing half water changes, not the full tank, but half, which is required for the treatment that I'm doing for the fungus. And you know, it's all okay to work together if you have a little bit of the ick treatment in the tank, long as you do a water change. So all the fish are fine, all the shrimp are fine, and that's what I've been doing. So I'll show you what's up. Okay, and I'm not actually recording with my Canon, and normally with the fish videos, I actually never do, it seems like, except for I think one of them, or half of one of them. Yeah, it just, you know, happens the way it happens. And if you could look closely, you could see it's a little bit cloudy. And, you know, on the heater, it looks a little bit dirty. It's because I do not have the actual filter cartridge in or the stuffing. I'm just running it. I'm running the water because the treatment's in there. So all the fish are adapting great with the water changes because I'm doing half or a little bit more than half the tank. And then I'm treating it with half a capsule of this right here. This is the fish amoxicillin. And after three treatments, the molly is clearing up. I got this off Amazon. I don't know where else you could get it because I found it on Amazon, but this is Fish Aid. And it's working and it's doing its job. It does seem to work a little bit slowly because like the first 2 treatments, I didn't see any difference whatsoever. But after the 3rd treatment, the next day, in which today is going to be the 4th treatment, which I'm going to be doing after this video and switching out the water, the molly is looking clear. Not cleared up all the way, but now that it's feeling better, it's kind of a ham for the camera too. So that's the side that it had the most right here. The most fungus on. And it's clearing up. So I'm really, really happy with that. And all the other fish are okay with the treatment being in the tank. So everybody's getting treated because they've came into contact with this molly. And the other molly that passed away. So everything's going fine. Everybody's alive. And they've been through the ick treatment, which is okay. Because if it was ick, it's cleared up now. But now that it progressed to where it's more inflamed as far as the disease and or fungus, you could tell it's not ick. So it was kind of fluffy and white and patchy. So there is a difference. So yes, I've been doing research and I've been reading about it because I don't want to lose all the fish in my tank. If I do, you know, you could purchase different ones and switch out everything in the tank. But it would be nice just to save them, you know. They're your pets and or you invested in them, so you know, help them out, you know, when they're sick. Don't just let them die. So this is not that expensive. And once again, this is the Fish Aid. It's amoxicillin. So one of these capsules, I don't know if you could get the ones for the capsules that will treat a 10-gallon tank, because this is just what I found. And this capsule actually treats a 20-gallon tank. So if you follow the directions on the back and you have a 10-gallon and you get this product and it says for 20, just cut the capsule in half, or you could just put it all out on a flat surface and divide it into 2 and make sure you get the correct amount, and just make sure they're basically the same size little piles, and just, you know, use half of the capsule. And that's what I've been doing, and it's been working fine. And everybody's happy. Everybody's looking good. And the molly is clearing up. So this is what I used in the beginning because I thought it was ick, because it did appear to be like little dots until it got larger. the area that was affected and or showing the disease and or fungus. And this is the Super Ick Cure. So I did use that, and I did the water changes, and I did the water changes, you know, and made sure I did it correctly. And then before I realized, hey, maybe this is an ick, I did a water change a little bit more than half. And then that's when I got my amoxicillin out, and I thought this was the way to go, because this treats a lot of things in your tank, and it's just really good to have on hand. So I picked that up on Amazon, and I picked this up on Amazon. Very easy to use. Excuse me. Very easy to use. Just read the directions, do the exact measurements, and make sure you do your water changes. And I do make sure when I do my water changes, I actually have an electric kettle. I will actually put just regular cold tap water, and then I will add some warm water from the kettle just to adjust the heat to the 70 degrees. So I do adjust the heat in a bucket just to make sure they're not shocked by the actual heat change. So you don't want cold water or really hot water. So I actually do that too. So that's one thing I'll talk to you about. But this right here, I do add this, the correct amount, every time I do a water change. It's just an added protection. No matter how old you are, if you like hobbies and you like things like this and you take a liking to them, maybe you already do, you know, it's cool, because there's a lot of people that enjoy this stuff out there. And I really appreciate those other people that are putting up videos. It's totally amazing, and it's pretty cool. So for the heat adjustment, if you have an electric kettle, it is so much easier, because I don't like to use the actual hot water from your sink or anything, because, you know, it's heated from gas and stuff like that. And I don't know, I'm not a professional when it comes to that kind of stuff, but I just feel just getting your cold water from the actual tap water and then putting it in your electric kettle, let it heat, boom, you got it. So what I do is I put my bucket in my sink, I run the cold water in there, and what I do is I take my amoxicillin, I take half of it, and I will just swish it around and swish it around and swish it around until it dissolves. And then while I'm doing that, I will add the water little by little, as far as the heated water from the kettle, just to get it to the right temperature until it's about 70 degrees. So when I add that to my fish tank and I'm doing half the water change, I do not have to remove my fish, and they're cool with it. It just feels like a little bit of waves coming in there, and it's the same temperature as the actual tank. So I do that, and I, you know, take the time to do it. And I feel like it's really good for your fish and your shrimp, because they have not shown any signs of shock, and it's working for them. So I wouldn't, you know, recommend putting really cold water in there and letting the heater just heat it up. That's just my opinion. So that's been working well, and everything's going good. So I'm not a professional, once again, you know, I'm just doing what I'm doing as far as following directions. And with the heat adjustments, I got my own way of doing it. And I do recommend, if you haven't tried it, try it, because you could just adjust your own heat, you know, in a bucket. If you have electric kettle, and you just put a little bit at a time and swish it around and make sure you get the right degrees. And you could use a thermometer to do that too.